to kick off day number 3 of ESL Pro League Season 12. It's AVANT and Chiefs kicking things off on Mirage.
Man, that smile, that damn smile, it just does things to you, doesn't it?
Gets me every time. Can I change my prediction? Fortunately not.
It's too late now, Pilsy.
It's already locked in. Chiefs starting off on that T side, which means that AVANT chose to start CT. As you do see, they are favoured in the GG bet odds, but it will be a Palace pot with the 2 right side A smokes coming out from Chiefs. Blitz to play retake.
Yeah, quite a long rotation to come in here for AVANT, but that might not be a huge problem if they're going to continue to hit the shots.
Alrighty.
Blitz on 9 HP. He's gotten rid of Offnu and Vexite, and that's just not worked out at all for Chiefs. The smokes were nice. The setup was nice for Chiefs. They only had 2 players to deal with, but Sterling and Blitz have more or less won this round themselves. APOC the only player to chime in with another frag, but 2 for Sterling, 2 for Blitz. And if your A players can do that, they're going to make the hold pretty easy.
Yeah, interesting to note that they didn't have a smoke or a kit there, AVANT, when they were playing that retake A setup. So maybe if some of those duels don't go as cleanly the way of AVANT, Sterling obviously spans one through the smoke. You got Blitz with the 2 quick taps there. It might have been a bit of a difficult retake for them.
But yeah, very solid retake, all things considered. Chiefs not really standing the chance there up against big old Blitz. Just tapping heads. Now let's see what AVANT have as we head into the second round.
Yeah, we'll do the force buy for Chiefs. Here's the Molotov that we saw Monesy chucking on Twitter before, and it's going quite well for Sterling. Saw that a bit earlier on. And it's worked out quite nicely for Sterling there with the AUG purchase. Very interesting.
This probably hasn't gone the way that AVANT really wanted it to, though. Having already lost the gun and having Sterling down on 2 HP. Still a world where Chiefs could come away with a victory. They've got a bit of utility to play with as well, Mac. Those mollies, the smokes can get them into the A bomb site, which is where they're headed at the moment. Zeph's continuing to float in mid, but looks like he'll rejoin the rest of the team. And this might not be a bad take on the A site for Chiefs, to be honest. If they can smoke off CT or if they can smoke off stairs and jungle and deal with the CT player, then they're going to be able to get a bomb down and it'll be a 3-on-3.
Well, utility going to be lined up. APOC Dud might be able to tank a single bullet to try and fight here.
He's going to be the last man in. Has only the deagle. He's given the AK over to Zeph. Soju also doesn't have any armor. That's the unfortunate reality here for Chiefs. Aim punch is going to be a factor, and I think Soju's just run through a molly and taken a bunch of HP damage. APOC opts not to swing, which does leave AVANT in a pretty reasonable spot here, 4v4 for the retake. In fact, it might have actually been Hugh that decided not to swing. Either way, it doesn't really matter. They have the numbers advantage, but HP is still looking pretty solid for the Chiefs at the moment. APOC creeps forward, doesn't spot Soju out. A double kill for Soju, swings this back in the balance and maybe back in the favor of Chiefs. It's on to APOC solo against Blitz, and he will hit the shot. Chiefs have won the round. It was a touch and go thing for a moment, but they get it over the line, and now the scoreline is 1 apiece.
Really nice post plant. I mean, unfortunately, AVANT don't win the round, but thought this Molotov was quite interesting. Saw this on Twitter a bit earlier on. Obviously, you just chuck the molly in behind the door here, and it starts to spread. Makes it quite hard for the T's to see you. Obviously, Skybox doesn't do it justice, but the smoke, the molly smoke is meant to obscure you and make it quite hard for the opponents to see you in that position. You could tap them down towards top mid, maybe in an anti-eco or something like that. Can be quite effective. And it actually got AVANT off to a pretty decent start in that round, but unfortunately they couldn't close the post plant, and now they are trying to get back in the game by forcing the deagle arm up.
Isn't that one fully dependent on graphics settings though? Anyway,
not sure.
Discussion for another time, as we do see Chiefs trying to force their way out a main Vexite, looking to lead the charge with Galil and AVANT in some good positions to set up for the retake, but Chiefs just full control of A site now.
It's not a bad start for Sterling. Chiefs as of yet not able to get the bomb plant down, but Zeph's done a good job to salvage the situation. He's continuing to fight for control of mid, but we'll just give that one up as the bomb plant goes down for Chiefs. Interesting to note, though, APOC pushing through Palace is going to get the timing onto Zeph. That's the end of one, and now a crossfire established for AVANT. Chiefs will have to fight their way out of this, and they're doing so quite nicely. APOC, Dud, and Soju combining, assisted by Vexite, and that's the end of the round. Chiefs again get it done.
Good approach to the anti-force, just chucking out those right side A smokes as well as the top con smoke afterwards and getting the bomb down. Good use of utility, just chucking a bit of execute to minimize some risk. And there you go. They do close out that anti-force, now starting to potentially move into an anti-eco and try to build up a little bit more cash than they were able to in the last round facing those Deagles, but they've already got a little bit of cash in the bank. This is where Chiefs can start to stream ahead a little bit.
Let's see if the 5-man stack is going to work out at all here. Looks like Sterling's rerouted into a window. The Chiefs just slowing it down with the full mid control. Soju doesn't want to stay too far away, so doesn't hang around at the back of apartments, just clears out T-spawn, should be able to pick up the bomb. Flash to short. Zeph in ladder. Just nice, thorough, progressive utility coming through for Chiefs, and we've got a decent amount of map control ready to go for a B split, which is potentially about to go straight into the B stack.
Yeah, usually it goes pretty well though, even if they do go for a short split up against the USPs, the AKs usually do pretty good in these kind of fights. So even though they are moving into a stack, although Offnu's on a bit of an exploration towards A, and he's actually done a fantastic job clearing out that whole site by himself, just minimizing the risk, trying to investigate, hey, let's make sure we don't run into a stack, and that's lovely stuff from him. Allows Chiefs to avoid that USP stack, which, to be honest, they probably would have done just fine cleaning up anyway, but better to just not run into the stack.
Yeah, exactly. It's always an interesting sort of relationship for players that have just left a roster. You think about Offnu going up against his old team, and I know that's probably not a fresh wound anymore. That's a bit of an older one now, but I wonder if he sort of puts any extra emphasis on a matchup like this.
I'm not sure, to be honest. There's been so many different iterations of lineups at this point where, yeah, maybe so. If it was a bit of a... Depends on how it was conducted, I guess. Either way, it's maybe something that we can investigate a little bit more. Maybe we can get an interview or something like that. Either way, Chiefs, they're in a good position here on their map pick. They're already pressuring on the T side of Mirage. This is a map that AVANT have looked, you know, not fantastic on, to be honest. It's been a bit coin flippy from them. Sometimes they just get kind of blown out on this map. Sometimes you'll see Hazza and like Sterling fire up and just dominate the middle area. So we'll see what kind of AVANT we are going to have today. As Chiefs built up a fair bit of cash in that anti-eco, they're going to have a couple of buys in the bank account left over there. And AVANT, they're looking to start to turn things around. Single AWP, all the rifles they can want.
Vexite's quick. Has he spotted the head there? I thought he might have, but either way, he's just going to sit in the cutout. Pop flash himself through the smoke here, and APOC has given away his position, but Hazza, it was a bait more than anything else. The rest of Chiefs are going to try and filter their way onto the bomb site. That's not worked at all. Oh, it's all just fallen apart for Chiefs in that round, hasn't it? APOC and Hazza playing off each other very nicely. And Zeph, well, he'll creep through mid, but what can you really expect to do in 1-on-5?
Execute just gets completely shut down. And that allows AVANT to survive with 5 players, maybe pick up a couple of extra guns. Famus turns into an AK. They've got to be pretty happy with that, right, Matt? Well, Mac's nodding.
Yeah.
He agrees with me. I would try and do an impression of him, but I don't think I could do it justice, Jordan. There's Small Mac.
Ooh,
he's even got the mustache.
Oh, he's got a moustache! Hazza! All right, I've changed my favourite. Sorry, Tom, you're out of here. Hazza, he's back.
Ooh.
Back in the good books.
Fair weather supporter, really. Doesn't take much to change your opinion.
No, it doesn't. Send me that pen. I've got a cool poem I'm going to write. Beautiful.
Oh, I don't know what has better chemistry, whether it's the teams or the caster desk right now. That was a beautiful throw.
Backhand toss right into, you know.
The old underarm one-hand catch.
That's it.
All right, into another gun round now. Chiefs having to scrape the bottom of the bank account to put this one together, so all of their hard work in the anti-eco has been finished up now. Chiefs just taking their time right now. Is it a dry push towards top mid, or does the flash effectively deal with Sterling here? He does see it, turns. He's pushed off the line. You can see APOC Dud instantly posting up on that angle, not wanting to re-peek into their Sterling. Allows Chiefs a little bit more room, and this is where you see the shift in the rotations potentially. Sterling minding that murder hole, but now shifting over towards Ticket as Chiefs do start to take this mid control. A smoke onto top con, and middle will be forfeited by AVANT, and now it's up to Chiefs to mid round through. This is a very, very standard round of Mirage. This is how you do want to see the mid to late game start to unfold as Chiefs take that connector control, start to get towards this A split.
They've still got a lot of utility to make it into this bomb site, though. The molly up onto short, smoke into jungle, few angles that Chiefs don't have to be too concerned about. And Sterling has to rotate his position off. That means he's close to these rifles, and he hits some shots, but it's just not quite enough. Vexite a double on the entry. Ofnu, full HP, will be the one required probably to keep this clutch going in the hands of Chief. So he'll play the forward position inside the sandwich. I wonder if AVANT are expecting a player this close because they saw or expected maybe both to exit towards ramp. Ofnu nearly gets both in quick succession, but APOC survives. Can manage to find the frag onto Ofnu.
Oh.
But a one-on-one, time of the essence. He's running out of it as well. Does at least have a defuse kit. Vexite's really just toying with him at the moment, isn't he? The flash to go through here. APOC touches the bomb, but he's not going to stick it. And now time running away. He might have just got it there. APOC will sit the defuse, and AVANT, they're going to win the round, but barely and only just.
Whoa. Very, very close defuse. That was a sick variation from Chiefs. I don't think I've seen something like that. It was only the difference of one smoke, actually. But usually, you know, you can see them set up in connector. It's 30 seconds on the clock. They've got that con control. They want to turn it into an A split. And usually you see the smoke towards CT and jungle. But actually they did something a little different that I thought was cool, where they smoke triple here as well as jungle, and then they creep up all the way behind that smoke and get really, really close with the flashes. I haven't seen something like that before. And actually, you know, they're kind of getting dueled from that angle as well as under balcony, as well as the players at triple, but it just makes it a little bit harder for the player to fight from triple, as well as that AWPer to swing from Ticket. As we all know, you know, the CT smoke, not that effective sometimes. People can just play on top of it, play around it, and just, you know, bang you through it kind of thing. Kind of like Chiefs did get banged out in that anti-eco. Not really too much to see there or too much to talk about. And AVANT very much back on top. From where we were, 3-1 for Chiefs. AVANT, they win 2 gun rounds back to back. One of them quite cleanly, one of them a bit dicey. Definitely could have gone the way of Chiefs. And now they close out that anti-eco cleanly. They have a fair amount of cash to work with, and Chiefs will buy up once again.
10-3 for Sterling. That is a scary prospect for Chiefs, because when Sterling gets going, he's always a bit of a key factor for his rosters, and has been one of the better individuals within the ANZ region for his tenure within AVANT, to be honest. He's almost always at the top of the stat charts at the end of a tournament. Not sure exactly where he sits right now for ESL Pro League Season 12, although I imagine after one game against Order, things are probably not looking too crash hot. Expecting him to turn that around, though.
There's the potential to, that's for sure.
Have a quick look here. Yeah, he's not in the top 10.
Again, looking like Chiefs are going back towards that control. 1-3-1 setup that you do like to see on that T side. AVANT, bit of a different look from them. They are focused more towards B apartments. They want to take control over there, but Ofnu scenes on top of it. Does punish the underpass push. He's heard the utility in towards B apartments, and now AVANT, they've lost mid control. They've lost the man advantage. The onus is kind of on them to make something happen. As you can see, Hazard trying to wait for this smoke to fade towards connector, but he loses the duel versus Zeph. It's going bad to worse. Hughes slipped into ramp, but that's about all they have going for them. Pushes on either extremity, but nothing else for AVANT.
How much of an advantage really is that going to be for Hugh? Because Soju's starting to creep his way back out of Palace, and he will check. He does spot Hugh out now as well. So that info is there for Chiefs. And Hugh's essentially stuck in a rock and a hard place sort of a situation. If he goes back to A, there's a couple of Chiefs players there. If he goes forward into T, there's also a couple of Chiefs players there. So Hugh, he's just going to have to try and fight his way out. And he also has managed to cross all the way into CT, so at least that's a benefit, and he can maybe try and make a last stand from here, but that doesn't really last long.
Yeah, it's just a round. That was, I mean, I guess I would describe it again using the slippery slope analogy. It's just once that first pick doesn't go your way and Ofnu punishes the underpass push, you split up all around the map individually, and Chiefs have mid control and are able to sort of do whatever they want. You feel very pressured as a CT. You've got no information. You've got no strong positions. You can't play off of each other because you're too split up. It makes you feel like you have to kind of go for a play. Otherwise, it's inevitable that the Ts will just make that mid to late round call and trade you out.
Saving these 2 guns, though, for Avant is going to do wonders for their buy next round. APOC and Sterling have a significant amount of cash, so they can drop over. Blitz will be able to buy for himself. So this should be a pretty decent buy, actually, for the CT side. Chiefs are going to have to continue to fight for these rounds in the first half. They aren't quite yet at that breaking point for Avant. One more round, though, should probably do it.
All right, the masterpiece is done.
Okay.
Do you want it now or do you want it later?
I think we want it on the desk, don't we?
Okay, well, we'll save it for later.
Maybe we can... It was Hazard. Maybe if Avant wins, we can rustle up an interview with Hazard.
And if not, then this can be the consolation for us.
Correct.
Being eliminated.
Correct.
Okay.
Well, that's a good start. Oh, that's an even better one. APOC Dud holding on to the bomb. Had no idea that APOC was going to continue to push in mid. Now Soju's going to creep onto A, but he won't be able to win that duel, nor will APOC pushing mid. Bit of an exchange, but realistically, numbers are hugely favouring Avant, and unless Ofnu can frag up a storm, it's probably still going to. Zeph, a 1-on-2, and Pilski's a big fan of Zeph. He would tell us that he might be able to win this one. Thing is,
he's a fragger, dude.
Hazard has pushed all the way into T-App, so that's already a lot of info for Avant. And if he gets the timing right, he comes out behind Zeph.
Yeah, it's all timing. Because Zeph, he's got his crosshair in the right position, but unfortunately wasn't ready for Hugh there, and does get his head banged off. So it was a very doable clutch, but sometimes that's the way it goes, man. Avant, some mid push right at the start of the round, early round aggression. Goes nicely for them, catches Chiefs off guard, and that's what Chiefs have been doing pretty much round in, round out. This 1-3-1, they go for the connector control. They want to try to, you know, work out the round in the mid to late round, and Avant stops them before they can even get comfy.
It looks like Chiefs are just going to be posturing for some later mid control. Just expecting this aggression again, but it does not happen. It's a 2-on-2 split at the moment. Sterling just happily gazing over the con smoke while Chiefs position themselves to take it late.
Well, that might not work out too nicely for Chiefs. Going to hope that there's a few flashes getting thrown in here. Otherwise, Sterling's liable to ping him as they cross. There's the molly to force Sterling out of his position, popping a really decent chunk of his HP from it, actually. But he's able to post back up with that smoke, helped out by his teammate. Or was it even Ofnu that threw the smoke?
No, it was Hazard.
Okay, it was Hazard. Yeah, Ofnu's hanging onto a smoke. What am I talking about? It's fine, though. It's good news for Sterling. Already opening the round up for Avant. And yes, Chiefs have gotten a couple of players across the top mid, but at what cost?
Seems like Chiefs still trying to posture to get this mid-control flash into connector with 35 seconds on the clock. Going to try and go for this A-split in a 4-on-5, but Avant, they're already set up with 3 players here.
Very solid positioning as well. Look, Blitz, he's under Balk, just waiting at the ready. You got Hugh ready for the swing out pal. That's his job, and he's done his job well. Soju down, APOC, Ofnu to follow, and Vexite straight into the mix. That was just the perfect position to be playing for Avant, and they've just called Chiefs bluff.
Yeah, Avant's looking really solid on this CT side, and it seems that Sterling's sort of all over the place. He's kind of everywhere that Chiefs don't want him to be.
Yeah, Avant are starting to adapt and read what Chiefs is doing, and Chiefs isn't really changing it up very much, you know. They, in that earlier part of the game, they went for the very, very fast play towards B, which got completely shut down, and they have just tried to make that mid-control work since then, when they found some success with it. But now Avant very much have cottoned onto that, are dealing well with that 1-3-1, either through finding that earlier man advantage and then digging their heels into the sights and relying on crossfires, or going for that early round aggression that you saw in that other round. So it's up to Chiefs in this next gun round to maybe try to adapt to that and continue running this 1-3-1, or maybe mix things up. You know, go for a quicker play, maybe a Palace pop or something like that.
An attempt there at Conf doesn't work out too well for Chiefs, as now they are still a man down. APOC just trying to fight at long range with a Glock. That's never going to go too well unless you get a couple of lucky ones. Soju can't hit it on the first. Sterling comes in as he goes for the repeat, and now it's all up to Vex side. Glock and a Dream. Oh, almost found one. But it was not enough, and Hazard continued to fight away. But there it is. Eco frags not coming out for Chiefs, and Avant happily just, I guess, exploding that scoreline. 3 rounds in the lead now.
3 AKs. And look at that string of rounds from Avant. Chiefs, they got that second round win into 2 more following that. But since then, when we've gotten into the gun rounds, it's all been Avant. It's all been coming up Avant.
Starting to look good for you, Pilsky. Went for the Avant prediction.
I think they're adapting a little better than Chiefs are at the moment, but now it's sort of the critical round where it's up to Chiefs. The onus is on them to change something up, do something a little different to try to break Avant down a little bit. If they want to try and crack their money towards the end of the half as we head into round number 12, they're probably going to have to win like 2 gun rounds in a row to be able to actually break that 60 side money. Because Avant's diminished their loss bonus almost down to nothing. They're sitting there around, one of them's got 2k, the rest of them are all sitting like between 4 and 6k, so they do have a healthy enough economy to be able to sustain a loss. Oh, maybe I'm a little bit behind. No, that's weird. Money on Skybox looks different to the in the game.
That is weird.
Well, either way, at least their economy's a little better than I thought, but I think, you know, 2 or 3 gun rounds in a row from Chiefs would give them that 8-7 lead, but Avant's actually looking good to try to make it a 9-6 or even double digits here if Chiefs fails to adapt in a round like this. That's a good start, though.
And Soju looking eager for a little bit more. He's actually going to cop the flash and baits Offnu into the fight, and it'll work out for Offnu anyway because Haz is down, and that's already 2 players lost for Avant. That said, Sterling is still lurking here on the A bomb site, and he's been pretty sharp so far on Mirage. Has the rotation come across as well? That's Blitz. So Avant are still not too poorly set up to deal with this, despite the numbers disadvantage. Blitz is going to creep forward, tucks himself in the cutout, gets a smoke down, but perhaps not in time. And now it's on to Sterling. The first does drop. That's Soju, but APOC dud from Palace was unexpected. APOC will be able to deny the bomb plant. So that's 1 out of 4. And how many more can he get? Jumping through the smoke with a flash. He's thrown himself a smoke, and already this is starting to look pretty good. The grenade, it won't finish APOC dud off. But I've got to be honest, the way that APOC's working through this clutch is making me a little bit concerned for Chiefs. He's looking sharp at the moment. Smoke fading, though, is going to really restrict him a little bit. Needs the duel against Offnu, and nearly had it.
APOC's so good at playing around those smokes and, you know, weaseling his way into wins from awkward situations. You can see how aware he was, you know, the way he was playing around those angles. Every single player that Chiefs had there in that 1-on-4, he was, like, crosshair trained on the perfect position. Denies the bomb plant. He was holding for Vex side on default. He was spraying at APOC dud in towards Palace, and even Offnu in towards Ramp and Tetris. He had his crosshair perfectly positioned to deal with him, so very aware from APOC. Always a very clued on, switched on player.
Yep.
And actually, since Hughes come into the roster, he hasn't had as high performance as when they had Offnu, which is when Avant was consistently pushing Renegades, you know. APOC, for a player of his age, was actually, you know, fragging pretty damn hard in some of those tournaments. One of Avant's better players, actually, especially in terms of the impact. But last couple of tournaments, or at least the last tournament that I saw, I didn't see APOC actually fragging as hard as a bit earlier on, so keen to see if maybe changing a player has thrown off a bit of that dynamic and whether that's something that will sort of come back to the forefront a little bit.
AVANT just looking for that mid control now. Hazard, nice way to start things off. Vexite not ready for the aggression on the edge of the smoke there at top mid.
Yeah, it starts off as a 1-3-1 from both teams, but as soon as AVANT gets that pick, you could just see the instant shift. They actually, you know, already had Hugh pushing into ramp there, I think, so they have information over onto A, and they just shift back towards B. Two players in apartments set up very nicely. The AWP on the long line and APOC nice and close here.
Oh, how's the timing? Absolutely perfect. Soju's pulled out utility. APOC, he's already won the round. Oh, okay. Hold that thought. Maybe not.
Well, it's going to need to be some sort of vintage clutch here from APOC.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know that he's going to have a good time of that. The Molotov finishes him, and geez, AVANT are looking like they can't put a foot wrong at the moment.
Yeah, except for in that last round. But adaptation on point there from AVANT. Just started off with that 1-3-1, and as soon as they found that pick in middle, they immediately just start pushing the extremities on both sides of the map. Very, very nice from them. They're looking like they're setting themselves up for a 9-6 or a 10-5 here.
As you said a little bit earlier in the half, definitely on the way. Double digits would be ideal.
Nice little lineup for the molly there from Sterling, just so he can throw it straight through the smoke and make sure that boxes is still clear. At the top of mid, Hazard. He peeked off the back of it as well to try and get a freebie. But it didn't work out this time, and Chiefs looking like they are going to try to force their way at mid. Sterling, he was ready and waiting. Vexite doesn't want to suffer a same fate. Now, Zev almost manages to line that one up, but unfortunately cannot connect through the smoke there.
Chiefs definitely taking their time in this round, though. Maybe a boost into mid-window. Not something that we've seen Chiefs doing all that often, or even at all so far in this half. But Sterling on the ball, as ever, is waiting, ready, patiently for the Chiefs.
That's an opportunity. Oh, Zev, 1 HP, and has the AWP in hand now. But still, 2v4, make it a 0v4 because Chiefs are found. In a matter of seconds, there it is. AVANT with 9 on the board, looking like they should be able to make this 10 just off the back of that momentum. They've been doing so well at keeping Chiefs out of these bomb sites in the first half. But the question is, as they start to head towards the second, can they do it on the T side?
Really has been kind of a quintessential half from Sterling, hasn't it? It's felt like every time Chiefs have tried to do something, he's just been waiting there. Ready. That's a shot in, shot or two in. Backs away, finds another angle. Making it happen. 16 and 6 at the moment. Definitely a good start for AVANT.
The Chiefs, after going for a lot of 1-3-1s, are just going to throw some utility towards middle. Not leave the lurker over there in Zeph and just execute towards this ace site. But unfortunately, AVANT, once again, finding the initial pick before the action even kicks off, as you've seen in a lot of these last couple of gun rounds. They often do just start off 5v4 and then dig their heels into the sites and rely on those crossfires. Now you're seeing the push into B apartments from APOC. He just finds full information. Blitz pushing up from underpass, and with this smoke down on ramp, Chiefs has actually been stalled for a good 10-15 seconds.
Well, now they're trying to make their way in, but Zeph's already copped a shot. Sterling will finish off Hugh's dirty work, but there's a few frags on the entry there this time from Chiefs. Zeph and Offnu are low. APOC and Blitz have a decent chunk of HP and a grenade, interestingly, as well for Blitz. I wonder if he can put that to good use. Not exactly the ideal angle to be coming from with that grenade, though. You'd much rather see him in connector.
Seem to be fully aware of him in this position, but APOC Dud looks away for the wrong moment. APOC now starts to try to take full focus, and that's going to work out well. But Blitz, what work can he do on the flank now? Needs to find the final man. That's going to be Zeph with 10 seconds to get to site, get on the bomb now. Blitz, he's just trying to edge it forward, and only one bullet is enough to get it done. There it is, 10-5 at the end of the half. AVANT are looking good today.
Certainly are, and Hazard's feeling comfortable. He's, you know, got that mustache going, so no reason why he wouldn't be. But as you mentioned, Mac, a big advantage for AVANT heading into this second half.
And no one protected my mind as a weapon, that's why every second, now I ain't got time to waste. They all tryna sign me. Your destiny, slay your enemy, raise a legacy. No more apologies, trust your abilities, gather the energies. Pull yourself back together, been staying off track forever. Child of the nation, will seek redemption, time for salvation. Today is meant to be day of victory, time for history. Reverse the tendency, fight the entropy, channel your rivalry. You're praying for fortune to come, you're hearing the sound of the drums. It's too late to backtrack, but pack your bag now. Keep your feet on the ground and stand up. You've got what it takes to fight back. Don't stop.
Back on into the second half of AVANT and Chiefs, and things are not looking too crash hot for Chiefs on their map choice. AVANT streaming away to a victory, 10 rounds already on their CT side, and not a huge amount to gather in this second half, but we'll see. Maybe Chiefs have got something pretty nice for us in this second half.
Yeah, we'll see how they go. I think AVANT definitely looked like the more solid of the two teams in that last half. They're going to go for a very quick one out A ramp here. Trying to flash Backside off that line. He doesn't find the same picks that Blitz was able to. And with that smoke down on Connector, AVANT should be able to set up in a nice post plan here. They've even got two players very close to jungle contesting that murder hole position.
Oh, the one place where Chiefs are not playing for the retake as well. This has now gotten so much more dangerous, and bomb's going to be planted for here as well. Front triple, Hugh might be first point of contact, Offnu spotted, and Hugh might be able to get some extra work done. That's both the connector players out of the picture. Three CT players mopped up in a second as well, and AVANT just looked so good in the post plane.
Didn't take a single point of damage. Hugh and APOC just absolutely mopped the entirety of Chiefs. And I think that might kind of be the tipping point for how this game's going to go, because, I mean, last half, don't get me wrong, Chiefs had some pretty decent rounds, but they got 3 of them off the back of that Force Buy win, one of them being a gun round. And for every single gun round they got after that, AVANT replied with, 2 or 3 of their own. So they were a little bit more solid, a little bit more consistent. Force Buy does come out for Chiefs, or at least half investment for some of them. They are going to probably take another eco after this.
Ooh, sharp shot from Vexite now, and the Deagle starting to reign supreme. Good flash coming out from Soju to allow Vexite continue to fight. Zeph as well with another. Now it's now a 1v4. APOC, the man, needs to clutch it to get Avant back in the round and not lose the anti-eco, and he's doing a very good job so far hunting. Head goes down. APOC is insane.
That was dirty.
He's 20-6. I was wondering. I literally said it. I was like, man's had so much impact in the last couple of tournaments. Hugh came into the roster, maybe not as impactful in one or two off tournaments compared to the standard earlier in the year. That's a bit more of a return to the norm from APOC. That is some raw fragging in a critical moment. The man just has so much impact.
I was waiting for you to, you know, stop talking there, Mac, in that clutch, and I was like, okay, Mac's going to throw this, and I'm going to start with, this is going to be a tough one for APOC, but never really got the chance, and I guess it's a good thing because he kind of made it look easy. 12-5, and Avant, look, they do get over the line, but they've still got another round that now is actually looking a bit precarious. Sterling's in all sorts of problems there in jungle with the bomb. He'll jump back into mid, and looks like he'll get back to be okay. Gonna receive some assistance from APOC as well.
Vexite just dancing around the window pillar now and unable to find anything else over on the B site. This is some beautiful entries coming out, but Blitz down to 4 HP could fall in a moment, and that's exactly what happens. APOC dubbed with the Mac 10 now, making this look dangerous. Sterling just on 40 HP, hiding at bench, as APOC is fully aware of this situation. So Sterling just waits for APOC to come in from short to help him out. APOC up with the full rotation, makes the short jump. Now, timing, that's the question. Avant, are they going to be ready for this one? APOC seems to be and gets the nice timing, and he's got that aim to back it up. Confidence for days for this man, and that's going to be Avant sending it to 13 rounds. Just 3 more necessary to close out map 1.
You did mention it, Max, so I thought I'd just have a look at it. Soju, definitely one of the more underappreciated players in this region, and as the B anchor, you'd expect him to not really have any impact in a round like this. He actually throws a pretty critical flash here to help out Vexite. Just chucks the flash over the top there, does pop up there, and these two players get a little bit white as he does swing and gives him the extra room he needs to actually get an additional frag there. Pretty massive, you know, knowing what flash to throw in what position, even when you shouldn't be able to have any impact there. Zeph's having impact though, just runs up count and has his head off.
Yeah, Chiefs kind of need someone to really just take this game by the balls, don't they? They're really struggling at the moment. No one having all that much impact. APOC Dud also chiming in with the AWP, so this round gets a bit more difficult for Avant.
The moment not really doing too much of anything. They do have APOC in towards ladder room there, but Chiefs aren't interested in that part of the map. Sort of just playing retake on middle, treating it like the plague, avoiding it at all costs. But Hugh's going to start it off nicely for Avant to start to get them back into that round. That puts some more pressure on the rotations. You see the shift back over from Zeph as he starts leaning more towards A, but the bomb is heading towards B apartments now, and APOC, as he is in that ladder room position, can try to slip up short, and if they catch Soju off guard here, it could actually be a really terrible position for Chiefs.
Let's see if the story unfolds the way that you've played it out. Looks like APOC now just gaining some information as he goes back out. That's going to be the tide turner back to the 3-on-3. And Chiefs aware now with this utility that the B-site hit is coming through. Speaking of coming through, APOC straight through that short smoke. Soju, he's on an island, but the boys come in to save him just in time. And it's Blitz in a 1-on-3 to close it, but it doesn't happen. And Chiefs, another lifeline.
Yeah, Avant really sort of had a lot of tells there that they were coming into that B side. The molly in towards apartments, you know, a couple of additional pieces of utility being thrown by Avant, which sort of tips Chiefs off when they didn't have any information. It allows those rotations to come in time. Molotov was attempted for bench, but unfortunately not enough elbow on that one.
Yeah, not enough hurt on the ball this time. Very unfortunate. Really need to send it back to the gym to get that one sorted. Although,
oh man, this is a big challenge from Avant, isn't it? They just tried to set up the firing squad in mid, but they couldn't.
Yeah, that's not really ideal. That's something you would see in a MM game. You know, just try to swing out mid and kill the guy in in window when you're on a bit of a force bite. No nuance to that, no strat there. Really just kind of swing mid and see what happens. And unfortunately, Zeph has got an AUG and just kills them all. And from that position, it looks a bit silly for Avant. Looks beautiful when they hit that crisp 1D and continue pushing. That's quite beautiful as well. That's quite nice, but it is just that one kill. And Chiefs do survive with 4 players alive, which means they're going to be able to build up their money. But even further than that, into this anti-eco, could actually get up to 13-8, which Avant still will have room to work with, still will have that loss bonus to fall back on that T side.
As if this doesn't get you going, Mitch.
Pretty decent shot.
NS in chat. Come on, that's NS.
NS?
NS. All chat NS.
TY. NS TY.
NS TY. Beautiful. Okay, looks like Avant have chosen the path of least resistance right now, just sending it straight towards that B site. Awkward situation, that smoke blocked, and yeah, that's a lot of information. Avant, send it back in the other direction after util's been thrown. Big rotations coming out from Chiefs. This is a very weird round already.
I don't mind it, to be honest, you know. They're kind of baiting out a lot of util. See the modeling towards underpass, the smoke onto ramp. There's actually only one player here for Vex site. He's got to drop that molly, and he does buy enough time there to get... And then the... Yeah, this is intentional. This is intentional from Avant. They're trying to bait out util with the footsteps. This is actually pretty smart. I like this. And in the meanwhile, they've got time to chat. Yeah, they've wasted all of the grenades of Chiefs.
They're certainly putting them through their paces, aren't they?
It's beautiful.
It's like a marathon. All right, here we go. Do we commit this time?
Surely.
Looks like...
No.
I can't believe this.
Zeph's going to chuck his smoke now, surely. No, he doesn't. But yeah, they've wasted all of their util.
This is hilarious. This is beautiful.
Zeph's just hold on to that smoke for dear life.
All right, now we're going to commit. We're going mid. All right, APOC done. What can you do? A little bit of a tag through the wall. After all that, Avant might not even actually end up getting a frag here, although APOC under pressure. It's not a big problem for the dud. 2-5. And it's not looking like any of those players for Avant will get themselves a frag. A fun round. And they do get a lot of that util out of the Chiefs' belt, but...
Love it.
Maybe not a kill. Well, off new. He'll eventually drop, but that's okay.
That was great.
It reminds me of, you remember the old VP strats on Overpass where you'd go up through con, back out to long, back through long bathrooms, back down con to T-spawn, back out monster, and it's just like, what the hell are they doing?
Just going for a run, you know. It's good for your heart.
Swarming up, mate. Swarming up. No, that was great, though. They baited out so much utility from Chiefs.
Now, the big question is, do you think that that's on the fly calling? And someone's like, yeah, look, we're going this way. No, you eat back the other way.
I would like to think that it's like Giga Brain, but in reality, it's probably just they're having a bit of a fun time, you know? They're just having a bit of fun.
Well, that can be a question we ask afterwards if we do have a quick chat to Avant. But for now, it's another serious round, and APOC's gone down early. So.
Dude, Zeph was like 8-16 or something, and he's just on this CT side just started to pick up the AUG, and he's decided he's taken the game into his own hands.
I've actually seen a lot of CT players recently start to pick up the AUG again, even though it is quite expensive.
Soju traumatized of that B apartments aggression. I mean, I feel like it's not just this Avant team, but a lot of teams with like APOC or Offnu or players like that in them, always a nightmare because they have so many players who want to just lurk out on the flanks and just kill you if you're the anchor player, especially if they're feeling it or they feel like they can abuse you a little bit. So Soju, you can see he's not spamming the jump spot. He's being extra careful. If he's familiar with this team, he should be very well aware that at any point someone could just walk out and try and kill him. You can see even now, like with that smoke down, he's thinking, if someone's trying to slip through that, I'm going to double check it. I'm going to triple check it. He's on top of the wardrobe. Make sure you don't get caught off guard by that. Meanwhile, Avant going to try and resolve this 4-on-5 by coming out A. There is a lot of Chiefs players here though, and the smoke gets dropped in time.
Ooh. Not a bad start. Here's Vexite though. Oh, right behind the smoke. Too easy. Blitz and Sterling are donezo, and APOC Dud covers him well. Chiefs are starting to look a little bit better on the CT side now, and the gap is closing.
Absolutely. Zeph gets that early round pick, and from there, you know, Chiefs it's just textbook. After that initial boost up and he gets that frag, they just rely on digging their heels into the sites and using good utility. to be able to limit AVANT's options, and they close out the round very cleanly from there. Very nicely done from Chiefs. Now into another anti-eco. There's a lot of investments here for AVANT. They're looking to do damage.
Oh, big nade. Big throat. 64 HP remains on Humongous. We saw what he did before with the Scout. However, he's going to be stopped in his tracks this time. No crisp, clean headshots. Scout will be recycled across to Sterling now. Soju again just trying to play the offline here at Van. Ventet flash comes through. APOC, he's going to be a victim, and Hazard manages to trade it through. Unable to get the second though, and this is now looking even more so like a Chiefs round. But Sterling has another thing to say about it.
Is there a rabbit to be pulled from the hat here for Sterling? He's going to need something a bit magical to win this round with just a Scout. And being flanked from short as well is not going to make life any easier, but Offnu's making some noise. Shot is connected. Here's Sterling ramping things up, but no headshot onto APOC. Dud would not have mattered either way. It was Vexite that got the final kill. Could have made it a bit more expensive, even still down to 2 guns. Not so bad for AVANT, but Chiefs, yeah, continuing to put one foot in front of the other.
Doing a pretty good job here on the CT side, Chiefs are. At the same time, though, haven't really felt like they've been tested very much. They have very much kind of been, in a lot of these rounds, front-running. And what I mean by that is they seem to be able to get that pick and put pressure on their opponent rather than have to recover from a disadvantageous situation, which kind of begs the question, if AVANT does find a man advantage or something like that earlier in one of these rounds, are Chiefs going to be able to have what it takes to deal with that? Looks like a very quick one out, Palace.
In a solid position to deal with it, just needs the boys to make out some aggression. That's exactly what's going to happen. The Molly starts to force Offnu out, and he's going to find himself the 2k though, and last man alive, Sterling. That's going to be too easy for Offnu. So yes, APOC and Vexite both fell for that to happen, but still, 2 deaths for 5. That's a pretty good trade-off if you ask me.
Very nicely done. Again, another round where it feels like Chiefs are kind of just dealing with it quite handedly. Both of the CT sides looking much more solid for both of these teams than the T sides.
(13-11). Deficit is now only 2. I have to start getting a little bit worried, I think, for AVANT. Nade's going to go through, and that'll probably do a bit of damage. Or it might have just gone a bit too deep. AVANT are starting to work their way forward. They will cop the second onto Sterling. Smoke fades in mid, and then one blooms in connector. So AVANT have control of mid, but where do they go from here?
They have almost no util left, no flashes to be able to get them into these sites. Push on the extremity from Zeph. Oh, such an important fight. Goes the way of Blitz. Finally, this is where AVANT, they've got this man advantage. That's where Offnu feels pressured to actually go for a bit of info or a pick towards middle. He gets punished as well. And the dominoes starting to fall here for AVANT.
Yeah, the flank might come through as well. APOC deals with APOC Dud perfectly. They know they can be max 1 on that B site. Probably max 1 on A as well. So looks like the call is to go to A. They're already there. They've already got jungle control. They're coming in from a different route. However, Vexite here at Firebox had almost the lineup to play with, but AVANT, nice trade from APOC, and there should be another round. 1v4 for Soju. How much extra damage can he do? Oh, there's the first.
Bomb's still not planted, so he's certainly got time to work with. He'll flash himself through the con smoke. Aware there's a player in jungle, but Hazard still hits the head. Some scary moments for AVANT either way.
This is feels bad with a miraculous recovery, a bit of classic AU utility usage. You know, just Molotoving into the position on top of balcony, and it starts to burn your mate out. Wow, it didn't actually render. That's unfortunate. See, maybe if I do it again.
So what you're saying is there's a molly under the balcony there, right?
It's either not rendering or something weird has happened there.
Well, I think the molly was on top of balcony, but it somehow went down the ladder and started to burn Offnu in the corner.
And it pushes him out, yeah, and he ends up getting a 2k, which is like classic AUCS really. Just, you mess up the grenade, but then just frag out. That's a bit sad though. Either way, it's pressure on the extremity. I was talking about it before. Blitz up close, just waiting for that mistake to come out. And you could see Chiefs just investing a ton of utility, trying not to fall prey to that pressure on towards the extremity. You can really see AVANT putting premium on isolating that B anchor and punishing that pick, because it puts such pressure on the rotations a lot of the time on Mirage. If you lose that B anchor, it forces you a lot of the time to play retake A or go for a bit of a push into middle, something like that. And with the way that AVANT's set up, just waiting for those peaks to come out, they would have been able to punish that. But Chiefs make sure they don't fall prey to that, and AVANT, they go back towards that connected control, and it does look like they're getting ready for a short B split. And Chiefs, they don't really have a good idea of what's happening, but they already have the players here. 1-for-1 on the short entry.
Probably not enough for Chiefs to feel comfortable with, particularly when they lose the remaining B players. It's just off-Nu left alive, but too many angles to check. Now, APOC down to 3-on-1. Money's not that great here for Chiefs either, but this is the round that'll put AVANT to 15. That'll mean securing overtime bare minimum. So he's going to try and make the retake happen, but it's a freebie for Sterling. 15-11, AVANT. One round away from winning Chiefs' map choice.
And then that's danger territory. Headed into Nuke. If Chiefs don't pick up the pieces and put it all back together again, AVANT could just be sending us home early 2-0 today.
Well, we won't be going home. We still have the Asia matches later on, Mac.
Theoretically.
Don't get too happy.
It's a figure of speech, Jordan.
I know you're the guy that always just seems to like to walk off set. I'm just trying to make sure you don't do that again.
Yeah, Matt could probably go home in the break, to be honest. He lives close enough.
I do live in the dumpster outside. It's a pretty cozy place, isn't it?
Oscar the Grouch over here. Love to see it. Don't love to see that from Hugh, though. He unfortunately gets caught off guard by the push from Chiefs, which they kind of have to go for with a buy like this. MP9s and Deagles. AVANT's going to try and go towards the ladder here. It's already posted up.
Okay. Solid position, nice trades coming through, but Chiefs still with the numbers advantage. Looks like Soju wasn't actually spotted there behind default, but they seem to be aware. Soju wins the engagement, 2-man advantage, 7 HP for Soju, but he has APOC data holding the cross, so he's not going to go down for free. Molly on the balcony to make sure Blitz can't come out for free, and this is just getting from bad to worse now. Vexite coming in on the flank, bombs down on short. Chiefs are fully aware, they're ready to swing on the contact. Sterling just has to play around the pillar, and he's got so much time to play with. Spots Soju's shoulder peeking out. Oh, no way he's found the timing here, and there's the first, but still so many CTs to deal with from this position. It's not looking likely. 3 HP make it 0. Vexite comes out, death from above, and Chiefs fight for another round.
Yeah, a lot of good supporting flashes from over the top there, actually. The flashes were really what won Chiefs this round. Not only that initial flash into ramp to create that 2-on-1, but also as Soju's anchoring that site, you know, Chiefs are rotating through murder hole from A and middle, and they're just peeking flashes over the top of market, which explode above the site, which means AVANT, as they try to close in on Soju's position, who's only got an MP9, they're just getting quiet. They're worried about people pushing them. Now they're going to flash their way out. 8 ramp, AVANT trying to close this game right here.
Solid entry from Hazza, but Vexite has been so deadly from default, and again he finds himself a triple off-Nu with the double, and it's a 20-second round. Chiefs, again, 2 away from taking us to overtime, and we know, and we know how much Chiefs love a bit of Mirage.
Don't do that
overtime.
To us. Mac, you weren't there, all right? You weren't there. You
I was there the day before in the different game.
We had 7 overtimes.
I had 6.
Well, we had 7. So
I had to do it on my own.
bigger's better.
I had to solo cast it.
Just saying 7 versus 6.
Vexite was solo gaming
than the other.
that round. Just on default. Fragging away. Haven't seen that in a while. Just someone... Those are not easy duels to win, actually. Just fighting from default like that. He made it look easy, though.
A couple of AVANT players are going to get out onto the bomb site without being scathed by that molly. Soju, he did his best, but the FAMAS doing him no favors at all there.
Yeah.
And it's starting to fall apart a little bit here for Chiefs, although Zeph brings it back to 4-on-4. Bomb plant not yet down, and this is going to be now easily salvageable as the dominoes do fall for AVANT. Just Hugh.
That was getting dicey.
Hugh yelling, guys, I have A. Guys, I got A. Where's the bomb? Oh, the bomb's on site. Okay.
That's alright. They had decent positions there, AVANT, but unfortunately they were trying to get that bomb down too eagerly. Well, I don't know if I was too eagerly, really. It's kind of just a case of AVANT was in a certain mind and Chiefs made the right push at the right time, really. AVANT trying to get that bomb down, trying to get comfy in the post plants, a crossfire between site and market, but unfortunately those site players very focused on getting the bomb down, which allows Chiefs to come out market, take the fights with those close pistoling players. And
Chiefs have gone for the double AWP setup for the final round as well, so Soju picking that up.
yeah, he'll probably take that over towards that B site, and it is actually a set up towards underpass from Chiefs.
Oh,
So
big nade.
very, very nicely done. AVANT's going to go for a very quick, short B split, but with that Molotov slowing them down, and Zeph's already spotted this player up connector. Chiefs, they got the push on underpass. Offnu's behind APOC right now. Zeph's behind Humongous. That's so many kills going the way of Chiefs. They've just completely dismantled that round. AVANT didn't even know what hit him.
All right, so Sterling about to walk into a crosshair and send us to overtime. No, okay. Crouches under the crosshair and wins the engagement. He's played this game before.
Oh, you reckon?
But look, Offnu, APOC, Dud,
Oh,
and Vexite,
no.
they need to try to...
He hit that.
The coordination almost not there. But ladies and gentlemen, we do have to go to a short break before we have, yes, Mirage and overtime. We'll see you soon.
Oh.
Tired of hanging around the walls there. Always need an explanation. Don't want me to explain myself. Don't want to if I'm somewhere else. Put all the
So they snapping back, mad at the fact that I don't have a backup plan. I ain't need that. Outworking everybody when I relax, so I ain't tripping about none of y'all feedback. Heard that, wonder when I'm gonna peak at, and that's why you count your blessing while I count that in my winnings. We take 50s and 100s and throw them up to the ceiling. Everything I envision, now everybody gon' witness. Only difference between us is I ain't stop till I finish. Yeah. I feel on top of the world. I feel on top of the world right now. I feel on top of the world. I feel on top of the world right now. I always wanted the world. I want to conquer the world right now. I feel on top of the world. I feel on top of the world right now. I feel on top of the world. I feel on top of the world right now. I feel on top of the world. I feel on top of the world right now. I always wanted the world. I want to conquer the world right now. I feel on top of the world. I feel on top of the world right now. Shots in the man with the plot and we only go bombs away. Ain't no one protecting my mind as a weapon, that's why I'm a dominate. Taking advantage of every second, now I ain't got time to waste. They all tryna sign my name, they want me to sign my name. Counting a blessing while I count that in my winnings. We take 50s and 100s and throw them up to the ceiling. Everything I envision, now everybody gon' witness. Only difference between us is I ain't stop till I finish, yeah. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I always wanted the world, I want to conquer the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world.
For the last time, this ain't a song, it's a battle cry. No life, I see the clue between the strobe lights. I'm haunted, black face, hey, follow me around, okay, black face, hey, follow me around, okay, used to want it bad, used to want it bad, but I can't taste, I can't help you now, okay, follow me, okay, black face, hey, follow me around, okay, follow me, okay, black face, hey, follow me around, okay, got too much up on my plate, now I can't think. I said woke up to get X and now I'm feeling this is it. Want the money, want the rest. I do purse, not no cess. They say darnish, why you sad? I said I just need the thing.
What a time to be alive. Also, they say it is overtime and it's 15-15, a place that Chiefs are fairly comfortable with when it comes to Mirage. They've been in plenty of overtimes on this map, infamously so even. Hopefully we won't be going to 7 today, but if we do, Pilski, at least I know what that's called.
There's only one common factor here.
That.
APOC done.
And us.
And us. Maybe it's a... No, it's not my fault. It's the kids that are wrong.
That's true.
True.
Look at this, though, from Soju. Oh, he's not expecting Blitz so close, and it's not even going to be required because it's Sterling to find the first frag, which gives Blitz the element of surprise, catching Zeph off, and that's B opened up for AVANT so easily. APOC waiting in mid for the rotation. It's going to do enough to keep it favourable for AVANT, but for a moment, because APOC dud firing up.
Off angle from Sterling gets in that pick there. They've spotted Vexside on catwalk here. So another line being posted on by Sterling. That's where he does his best work. You just set him up in a post plant and he just right clicks his little zoomy cannon and left clicks his mouse button and it's easy as that. There you go. Warping is so easy, Mac, agree?
Oh, so easy. Just press mouse 1 without shaking your crosshair at the appropriate time. Make sure your monitor has minimal input delay, so the mouse press is perfect. Also, you want a lot of hertz too, so you know the actual time of the frame appearing on the screen is as minimal as possible.
360 hertz monitor?
Oh, one day.
Ooh.
Sterling. Oh, straight onto the boxes. That's full alpha.
Yeah. There you go. Doesn't find any of the picks. Trying to pick certain angles. I like the way that he's moving around, just readjusting his angles depending on whether the smoke has faded or not. APOC Dud unfortunately thinks that middle is clear. Oh, that's beautiful. That's a gorgeous flick. Oh.
Well, APOC Dud heard that I started to like Haz's moustache. I like what I was seeing. And APOC said, oh, mate, look, this is why you love me. Bang!
Look what I can do.
Straight back into APOC Dud's books.
I do wonder if APOC Dud could even grow a mustache.
He said he was in some chronic pain or whatever. It must be because he's just breaking his wrist every time he uses the AWP. Like, come on, man. Just make it easier on yourself.
Higher sensitivity. Look, half the effort, right?
That's right.
Yeah, and just as easy. Why not just play on a million cents?
Use one of those ergonomic mouses and don't even have to move your hand. You just have to fiddle with the ball on the side.
Easy.
Nade, perfect position, and that's going to be Vexside again. He's played so well from this position. He's just going to keep going forward. Again, another APOC able to trade it this time, but still two-man disadvantage. 20 seconds. AVANT, it's not looking likely in the second round of OT.
It's just behind the smoke. He's not actually going to spot Zeph. It's fading favourably for the CT. APOC again, another clutch situation for him, but this time a bit too much to deal with. Offnu underneath him. And 16-16 is the scoreline, so 1 round left in the half.
That bait setup with Offnu under balcony is just so perfect because Vexside is going to get kills every time he's playing there from default. So even though, yes, it's a bait setup, they're not going to expect someone baiting Vexside so much when he's such a bloody powerhouse.
Dude, like, it's not easy to hit those, like, double dinks on that, like, headshot line. Nice 1B from APOC Dud. Unfortunately, this round he has actually lost that spawn fight. Blitz just with the best spawn there. Now the push into Palace being punished. AVANT looking good. Up into a 5-on-3.
Ooh, nade. Solid position, but a humongous rather, just down to 87.
Ooh, the flank though. Bentet flash comes in to delay. Zeph could have pushed in on the flank and still may as this B execute comes in.
And that hasn't solved the fake just yet, but it's just Soju there over towards the B site. So it looks like AVANT will be leading by 1 round into the half because Zeph in a 1v5, you'd love to say it's a possibility.
Oh, lovely.
You'd love to, but I don't think it's going to happen. Not with Sterling gazing upon you. And there it is, perfect round to end half number 1 for OT. And AVANT just barely with the lead as we head into the second.
A bit problematic though for Chiefs because we did see the CT side during regulation time a little bit better for both teams. Now they haven't reached the pass score on their own CT side. They'll have to do the hard work moving into the T half of OT. Tactical pause to start things off as well. Been here before, fellas. 31 frags though for APOC, 32 for Sterling, leading from the front for AVANT. And for Chiefs, well, APOC Dud's the one that's putting in the numbers, but to be honest, it's a fairly across-the-board kind of a thing. Soju just trailing a little.
Yeah, and you got Hugh also putting in some good work for AVANT today. You know, he's had a few slow games in the last couple of weeks, months even, since joining AVANT, but he's really starting to hit some shots. So that's some promising signs. Now, 2 rounds is what is needed for AVANT here.
Or we could go to a double overtime.
We could. We could.
Triple, a quadruple.
That is a possibility.
Or a septuple.
Septuple.
Or a dodecuple.
Dodecuple.
But let's see
I'm ready.
if that's going to happen or not, because Haz is running straight up middle. Zeph very deep, ready for the aggression.
It's a lot of information for Hazza. Gonna choose to sit inside the smoke. Hugh got a pick here before, I believe. Or maybe it was Chiefs who did that last time. Can't remember. Either way, Soju seems quite well aware that that could be a possibility. He needs to be careful not to walk onto that line, or he could just lose his life right then and there. Chiefs setting up in A ramp for this A-side execute. Sterling's posted on top mid, so Hugh's the only player with boots on the ground in the A side, and he unfortunately misses that shot. That's probably just the round right then and there, because you can see right side A smokes with the Molotov invested. There's no way for AVANT to get back into this site, and Chiefs, oh, actually there's a big gap in that smoke, but luckily they're not going to plant in the wrong spot to be punished.
2 from CT to retake, though. APOC waiting for that smoke to fade, which it does. And it's actually Sterling to thread the needle. Hazza comes in. Everyone from AVANT, they're equalising the numbers. They're 2 in advantage now. It's awkward, but Vexite in a solid position to try and hold. 70 HP. It's Ofnu to find the head of APOC. Now back to the 2-on-2 from above. That should be free. Sterling gets it done, but Ofnu so solid on the rifle today, but not this round. AVANT now send it to 1 more round necessary to take the map.
A lot of work to be done now for Chiefs. Of course, they've got plenty of money to do it with, but backs against the wall again. How many comebacks do they need to make?
2 rounds. So 2 comebacks? Does that count as 2 comebacks?
Well, they've already had to make that comeback.
True.
You know, they were down 10-5 at the first half and down 15 to 13.
13-7 or something? 13-6 or 13-7 at one point. And you have to say, AVANT, I mean, the CT sides have looked more solid for both squads.
Exactly.
Chiefs only got a couple of gun rounds on their T side in that first half, so it would be quite hard for them. I think they might have only got 2 or 3 gun rounds in regulation, so they're going to need 2 back-to-back in OT here. 2 or 3 gun rounds on the T side, that is.
This is danger territory. AVANT, they were so solid on that CT side in the first half, and again, coming into this with that 1 round lead, they're just going to make it so much easier. 2-on-2 split initially, not going for that mid control again, but Chiefs are going for a faster approach over towards the B site now. Vexite leading the charge.
Yeah, incendiary to go through though from APOC. He's got an idea that there's a few Ts headed in his direction. He's dumped all his util pretty quickly, but he's caught off guard. Grenade in hand. Vexite gets the timing right. It's a 2 for 2 though, as the entry does occur for Chiefs. They'll get the bomb plant down, but it's not that favourable yet.
Short control, but bomb's still planted there at default. Could be a factor going later into the round. Blitz has this one-on-one with Ofnu, who's down to half HP. Hugh's actually been legged down to 17, so that's something now. Molly forces him back. Just 7 for him to play with. Maybe the underarm grenade. No, Matt's actually killed himself. Hugh, oh, it's a complete just upset at the moment. What's going on? Sterling, 1v2, what do you got?
I can tell you're pretty upset. I don't know that this one's going to go the way of Sterling. He's got to sit the defuse and he won't.
Oh.
Yeah, if there's anyone that's upset by that one, though, that's probably Hugh.
I had some choice words I was trying really hard not to say and then just couldn't come up with any words I could say.
Bit of a disaster.
In that scenario. Maybe disaster. Yeah. There's probably worse words for it.
Schmozzle.
Schmozzle.
He's completely clucked it up.
Cluster of fun.
Ooh. Ooh. Absolute blunder.
Another tack pause from Chiefs. Nice little B execute. to get them that first gun round that they need, and they will need one more to push it into a double OT. What do you think of that?
Ooh, yeah. I don't mind it.
I'm all over it. I mean, we're going to have to wait for that Asia game anyway, so might as well have some entertainment while we do.
Maybe we can keep the Asia game waiting rather than them keeping us waiting.
Ooh.
Well, that would be a first, wouldn't it? I don't know. I still get the sense that AVANT is the team that's going to get over the line here. Chiefs are quite stoically hanging in there, but it hasn't really felt like their game to win yet. So first they're going to have to get this to OT2 and then do a pretty good job to start off OT2.
3 smokes invested very quickly into middle from Chiefs there, as well as a bunch of flashes, most of them thrown over from A, and Zeph trying to creep up close to corners. Chiefs flash their way out of A ramp here.
More of a retake set up on A. Blitz just misses the timing onto Zeph, but Hughes already chimed in with one onto Opnu. Zeph almost looked like he'd make them punish for it. 4 on 3 though, numbers advantage for AVANT here. All they need to do is trade down effectively, but APOC's been spotted getting into the cutout. Soju challenging, pushing forward. APOC wins the duel somehow, and now APOC Dud falls as well. It's just Vexite, 1 on 4. First down, but second is not. Sterling wins it for AVANT, 19 on the board. They've got the job done. They've taken Chiefs' map choice, and they're now 1-0 in the